guys, and welcome to our English lesson. Now we are going to continue reading our story Escape from Pompeii. And just to recap everyone, if you didn't see the last video, I'm just going to recap what happened. So Tranio, who is in Pompeii, was sat watching his dad perform in the pantomime, and then eventually his mind began to wander, and eventually the earthquake struck. So that's our first stage of our volcano. But everyone thought it was just a joke. Tranio's father all started singing their song, Rumble Down, Tumble Down, here we go again. Nothing to fear, but Tranio definitely thought that something was going on. So he ran to see his friend Livia, and then I think that they ran together towards into the streets, and they saw everyone screaming and everyone rushing around. But as they ran, the sky began to darken and thicken, and a big thick cloud drifted overhead. And obviously that's the volcano beginning to erupt. They started to cough and they started to run towards the harbour where they thought they would be the safest. And they climbed on board of a ship and ended up falling asleep. And as they slept, they set off into the sea. And when they woke up, they were horrified. Pompeii was further and further away, but the sky was now thick with black ash. Olivia couldn't breathe, and the children could just hear the dogs barking and the muffled screams as they ran, gasping for air. And that is where we got to. So let's see what happens next. And then, in one terrible, endless moment, they heard mighty Mount Vesuvius roar. Its top exploded in a scream and flames ripped upwards to the sky. A massive cloud of silver ash rose to the heavens, twisting and bubbling in every direction until everything was in total darkness. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. Streams of molten liquid flowed in fast rivers down the mountain slopes and covered a nearby town. The walls, streets and gardens of their beloved Pompeii disappeared beneath a blanket of ash and stones. Before their very eyes, everything and everyone they had ever loved was destroyed. Tranio and Livia held each other desperately as the steaming lava reached the sea itself. The water began to swell against the sides of the boat as it moved slowly out to safety. They had just left in time. Soon the sea sank back from the shore, and even the fishes were stranded there. Many years passed, and the mountain grew cool and still. At first, its slopes were burnt and barren, and in time plants began to grow as the volcanic soil brought forth its riches once more. Most people had forgotten the buried city. An old man and woman stood in the shade of an orange tree and laid a flower there. Long ago, they had been rescued by the kind captain of a Greek cargo ship, and he had raised them as his own. They were Tranio and Livia, saying farewell to those buried under the ash beneath their feet. "We won't forget you," they whispered. Would anyone ever find their beloved Pompeii, they wondered? Would anyone ever see its splendid streets? Perhaps, perhaps not. Tranio and Livia walked back to their small house beside the orange grove. For the rest of their days, they would carry a deep sorrow within their hearts. And that is the end of our story, guys. So you can see from this picture, even to this day, you can see the molten lava here, and underneath we've got all this rock, but underneath that even further, we've got all of the houses of Pompeii. And even still to this day, because this is a true story, this did happen many, many years ago. Even to this day, Pompeii has been rebuilt and reborn, but there is still all of this, still this rubble underneath all of the, all this beautiful grass. Anyway, so we're going to move on to our iPad, and I'll see you there in a second. Okay, so our LA for today is to understand and use SPAMO. Now I understand SPAMO, I'm not sure that many of us will have heard that, but each of these letters, represent a different word, and we're going to be learning all about it today. So firstly, all I would like from you guys to begin with is one piece of A4 paper, or you can just use a blank page in your exercise book. You don't need two sides, only the one side, and in the middle of your page I would like you to write SPAMO, ready for a spider diagram, just like I've done here. I've put SPAMO and I've circled it with just a bit of a cloud, just like so, ready for a spider diagram. And now in today's lesson, I want you to write all of your ideas around the spider diagram. Just like this. So I've got an example here. This is of one of my previous year's work. They've just put SPAMO in the middle, and then they've just got ideas coming off and all around. A little bit messily, but I like the way that this is how someone's brain works. It's just ideas and ideas, and that's what this lesson is going to be all about. So, firstly, I want you to just our first letter is an S, and this stands for similes. Now, we've done some work on similes already this year, but so let's just, as a quick recap, what is a simile? So this is where we compare something to another thing of a different kind. So my example here is as brave as a lion. Or I've got another example. I've got as quick as a cheetah, and I've got as hot as the sun. So now I want you to think back to our story. So think about this volcano erupting, and I want you to describe or to use a similes about what might be happening. So what can you say about the lava? Did the lava come down the mountain as quick as a cheetah? Or was the lava, when it touched the buildings, as hot as the sun? Think about some different things. Or was the ash as thick as I can't even think at the moment, but can you think of some different similes that you can use? And on your spider diagram, so just like I'm going to do here, I'll put on my spider diagram down here, I'm going to just put one out and put similes. And from there, I can go out again and then put as hot as the sun. And I can create my ideas just like so. So that's how I want you to record it down. So think of some different similes that you can think of. You can use some of mine, but I also want some of your own. So have a go at that, and then we'll go on to the next one. Pause. Okay, so next, our P. So we've done S and now P. Personification. So personification, this is where we make something almost human-like. This is where things happen, or when we talk about something, it happens as if a human's doing it. So my examples say, the lava swallowed up everything in its path. So our word here, swallowed. Lava doesn't actually swallow something like we do. We swallow like that, but the lava, it almost looks like when the lava goes over something, it just completely goes over it, and it looks like it's swallowed. So that's how I'm making it. That is my personification. Another one, as the mountain erupted, you can see I've got this is my very sentence starter. I've put my connective at the beginning and my comma. It screamed for more. So mountains don't actually scream, do they, when they erupt? But it might sound like they do, but that is just that is our personification. It screamed. So again, you can copy mine, but I also want some of your own. So with this one, we're going to go back onto our spider diagram, and we're going to do another side and put personification. And then we can roll up, and then we can write our ideas just like that. Have a go, and then we can go on to the next one. Okay, pause. Okay, so next we've got A. So this is alliteration. Now I'm sure that some of you will be able to tell me what alliteration means, but this is where our words start with the same sound. So I've got 3 examples here. So I've got the mountain moved mysteriously. So that might not actually mean the mountain, but it might mean the lava moved mysteriously. But I've got my sound. Next, the screaming, scared sailors. Here I've got my expanded noun phrase, my two adjectives, but all beginning with the s sound. And then next I've got the boiling, burning bridge with the b sound. So again, you can copy mine, and but I also want some of your own. So next we've got alliteration. So on my spider diagram, I can write again alliteration. And then you can have a go at writing your own. Okay. Pause. Okay, then let's see what's next. So next we've got So we've got metaphors. So metaphors, again, we've done something quite similar to this before, and it's almost quite similar to our similes. But a metaphor, so this is a figure of speech. This is where it compares two things that are not quite alike. So I've put my three examples. I've put the ash engulfed you like a giant bear hug. It's almost like someone's hugging you and engulfing you. That is what the ash feels like. Next, the lava came down the mountain like a landslide. So imagine if we were tranning on that boat, we were looking up at the volcano erupting. That lava will be coming down the mountainside just like a landslide. And then next, the volcano erupted like a burning tower of smoke, and you can see an example here in this picture. So do you see this tower of smoke reaching into the heavens? So my words here, just like as I can use like, and I'm comparing two things that wouldn't usually be put together in a sentence. But give that a go on your spider diagram. And let's go into metaphors. And you can write your ideas just off that. Right guys, give that a go, and then we can go on to the next one. Pause. Okay, so our final one. So this is our O, and this is onomatopoeia. I'm sure that you'll have done some work on this in year 3, but this is where we use the sounds that something makes in our writing. So for example, I've got bang, crash, smash, thud, and I was thinking I spelled this word, but it's meant to say grumble. So just like the grumble that the earthquake makes, grumble. So I'm just going to add a r in there. So think of some different ones. You can copy some of mine as well, but think of some different onomatopoeia words that we can write in our spider diagram. Right, pause. Brilliant guys, so by now you should have a full spider diagram looking quite similar to this. So what I want you to do now is take a picture of this, and then you can upload it to Teams, and I want to see all of your wonderful ideas that you have thought of in regards to our Mount Vesuvius erupting. And then we can use this for our setting description that we're going to be writing on Friday, about what the difference between what it looked like before Pompeii, how beautiful it was, and what it might look like now. Okay, well done for today guys, and I will see you in the next one.